Good morning, everyone. Today we're gonna see how we can create the rotation with sliders, and we can visualize the sum of the interior angles using GeoGebra. So I'm gonna type GeoGebra, clicking on GeoGebra Classic, removing the calculator, drag the drawing to the left side to have more space, and we can create the polygon. For sure we need the interior angle of this polygon. In this case, before we do it, we can go to options, rounding, and round all the angle to 0 decimal to make sure that we will not have any decimals. So now to see the angles, I click on angle and click anywhere inside this polygon and bring all the angles with this way. So as you can see, there is no decimals. The only thing, we can remove these labels by going and clicking with right click on the label and go to properties and uncheck show label. The same thing with C, show label, and B, show label. With this way we will not have any label. We have only angle A and B and C. Now we need to create a rotation to rotate this clockwise and counterclockwise to see or to visualize better the sum of the interior angles. How to do that? We need to create a middle point here by going to this icon and click on midpoint or center, and if you see here, select 2 points, a segment or circle. So in this case I'm gonna go to A and C, the middle point D, and the same thing with C and B, the middle point E. So we can use this middle point to rotate the triangle 180 degree using the slider. So we need the slider. In this case, I'm gonna create one slider here, and this slider we gonna change, or we're gonna leave the angle as it is, but make sure that it's 180 degree, and we can use the increment to 10 degree and click OK. And the other one, we can use another slider, the same thing, angle. I'm gonna remove the 45 degree here, I'm gonna leave it with 0 to 180 with increment 10 degree, and we click OK. So we have two sliders. Now we need to relate these sliders to the rotation. So how to rotate? We go and we click on rotate around point. You will see here, select object to rotate and center point. So the object is here. I'm gonna rotate this one around point D. It's gonna ask you about the angle, so I'm gonna relate it to this angle by clicking on this icon and relate it and remove the 45 degree. And here it's saying counter clockwise, which is okay. So if I move this, you will see that counterclockwise it do the rotation with this way. So the A and A prime are here, the C and C prime here, the B and B prime. So when I go to 180 degree, the only thing that I want to make sure that I can separate the two vertex. I know that this is A prime, this is C, because it from the original. The same thing here. This is C prime, but this is the original A, and B prime for sure in the other side with this way. Now I need to rotate the same angle at the same triangle, but this time clockwise, so I can relate it to the slider. I will do the same thing. So I go to rotate around point, I click on the object, I click on the point, and here I relate it to this angle and remove the 45 degree and ask for clockwise. Right away I will see the rotation, so you will see the B and B prime, the C and C prime, and the A and the A prime. So if I go for 180, I will see the rotation around point E. Again, I can move little bit the B prime like that and B1 with this way. This is the C1 prime. This is point A, B, C, the original, but this is after rotation. Actually, we don't need to see these 2 points, so I can go by clicking object orientation and uncheck the label, and actually the object too, we don't need it. And the same thing for E, I don't need the object or the label, to make the drawing a little bit more clear. Now, how to visualize using the slider or the rotation to visualize the sum of the angles. Now there is very important angle. There is A here and A prime. That means these 2 angles are equal. But to prove that, I click on angle and I choose the angle A prime. I try to make it clear a little bit. I will see it 49 and 49 degree. Another one, this angle, so I'm going to do the same thing by going to angle and find B1 prime, and I will drag a little bit this angle. I will notice that 32 and 32, which is great. That means I have the 99 as a common angle, 49 and 49 here, 32, 32 here. That means if I add these 3 angles, it's gonna give me the same 3 angles inside the triangle. Now to check the value of these 3 angles, I can check the value of this angle, which is for sure it's 1 segment. That means it's gonna be 180 degree, but to make it clear for everyone, we can find the angle by doing with this way, dragging this angle to the top to see that this is 180. That means the sum of the 3 angles here are 180, and 3 angles here are exactly the same 3 angles inside the triangle. To make it more clear, we can play with the color a little bit. So I'm gonna choose this angle and this angle and change a little bit their color to make it, let's say, blue, to make it sure that they are the same. The same thing here, blue, so it's clear that they are equal. Now if I go to this one, the 32, and this one, make it more clear, make it pink a little bit, so it's clear like that, that 49 and 49, 32 and 32, and this one in green. The total, it's 180 from here, and this is as a proof that the sum of the interior angle is 180. Now if I change these angles, it should give me the same value. To see that with a clear way, I can create a text to show each angle from alpha, beta and gamma, to show them and to show the total. So I'm going to create this text and I'm going to say the angle called gamma equal to, and I'm going to go to this icon to go to the real amount. So when I change the drawing, it's going to take the same value. So here it's 57, this is gamma. If I play with let's say the amount or the shape and I change, you can see it take the same change, 64, 64, if I go and change to 52 and 52 and so on. So it's well related. I can make this text a little bit more clear and take the same color by clicking on the setting of this point. Make sure that we click with this way, so I can change the color by going setting, color, let's say I'm gonna do it with blue because it's in blue, and maybe with bold character to make it clear. Now I'm gonna do for beta the same thing, so text, advanced, I take it from here, beta equal, and I take the real amount from here. So when I change the drawing, it's gonna follow the same change. So beta, okay. You will see 37 and 37. I'm gonna change it to pink by choosing the text, go to settings, changing color to the pinkish color and bold. After that, I'm gonna do the green one, the third one, so gamma, beta, alpha, beta, gamma, so I'm gonna choose gamma by going to the text again, repeating the same thing, and go to advance. From here, I'm gonna get the angle equal to the real one from this icon. I'm gonna choose a gamma. Okay, so that means I have the real one here. When I click on it, I can change its color to greenish, and in the meantime bold, so it's clear for me the three angles here. I can create also their sum by going to the input, so I go down and go to input, open bracket, and I choose alpha, beta, gamma by saying that alpha plus beta plus gamma, and I click on enter. You will see right away it gives me 180 degree and this symbol of the new angle. So I can relate that everything here by going to create a text and saying that alpha plus beta plus gamma equal to the same amount from here, this new angle, and I click on OK. So you will see with this way I can make it maybe a little bit bigger by going to the settings and color. I make sure that it's black and I make sure that it's bold with this way. So if I move any point of the triangle, it keeps changing the alpha and beta gamma, but the total it's always 180. And actually we didn't type 180, we type the value of the sum, which is this angle, and we put it here. So whenever we change the shape, it always 180, and if you see here it's 180. And again with the rotation, it's clear that this 33 equal to the 33 and 53 equal to the 53 and 94 is the common angle, so the total is always 180. I hope this session is help the student to prove why the sum of the interior angle is 180 using the sliders and the rotation. Thank you.